If the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, the way to a man's results is through books. What's up, champions? Welcome to another episode of Champion Reads, where we talk about best-selling books and their best principles to help you out with your best life. I'm your host, Willie Blake, and I'm here also with the founder of Champion Circle, Mr. John Kovacs Jr. And today, we're not covering just one book. We're covering two books. Because this episode, we're jumping into, as we love books. We cover book principles. We cover the best sellers, but at times it's really good to go to the books that have impacted us, but they're not really the best sellers. They're not really the ones that everybody talks about. They're the ones that are just silently unheard, and we want to hear them. We want to learn about them. So, John, we're jumping into both of us. Beforehand, we picked a book that we loved ourselves, that we found enjoyable, and we're going to share them with you. Two books that are just going to crush it and that hopefully can help you out because they helped us out. Ready for this, John?
I'm so ready.
Sweet. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to?
I can go first. I want to build more anticipation for what I'm going to guess you chose. So I'll start us out and just share. Okay. So I'm really glad that we're doing this, because I've wanted to expand this variety of my branched out library of this author, this topic, and this particular side of self-help. Okay, there's your big hint. It's a personal development, self-help, nonfiction book. I don't believe this one is, no, it is not. This one is not a New York Times bestseller. It was probably a bestseller in its own right on Amazon, but this is where the creativity of two really well-known authors come together with a passion for one topic and one human being in particular, and they extract a story from that person's famous book, and they expound on it, and they go into depth about teaching it from a modern principle perspective. Okay, what book am I talking about? Well, the authors of this book are the Sharon Lechter and Dr. Greg Reid. And the book that they extracted a story from is called Think and Grow Rich. And the story that they pulled from is in the middle of chapter 1, when he talks about how most people fall short of their goals when they are so close to achieving it. Yes, I'm talking about the book 3 Feet from Gold. And 3 Feet from Gold is an awesome book. And I'll read you a quote that comes from Napoleon Hill himself. But this is what really gets me. The ladder of success is never crowded at the top. The ladder of success is never crowded at the top. That kind of builds off of too, like what Zig Ziglar used to talk about, and who else? I would say Zig talked a lot about being at the top, but even like Brian Tracy talks a lot about like there's not a crowd at the top, because it's great. I love this book. And if you guys don't know, quick synopsis. I actually spoke about 3 Feet from Gold in my TED Talk. Long story short is a gentleman sent out to the West to involve himself in the magical gold rush, right? And he actually spent a lot of investment money on a property that was guaranteed to have gold. And after months and months and months of digging, he lost hope. He just realized this is not working out, and he's losing on his investment. And he did go as far as to like hire some other people to help him like dig deeper into this like cave and this trench, and he just didn't know what he was doing. He was like so out of his element. Crazy New Yorkers thinking they can live out here in the West. No, I'm just kidding. It was not that case. It was just him trying to take advantage of the situation. And then he decides it's hopeless. This thing is not working. I'm going to sell it for pennies on the dime. Well, yes. There was a garbage man who was like, I'll buy it off you. Hey, since you're selling it for cheap, I could use a place to throw my trash, sort of like a dumping spot. And he's like, fine, whatever, I'm out of here. And the dude just sells it to this man and he's out of there. Well, this man was smart enough. He ain't no average garbage man. And he decides, I have a little bit of money. I'm going to go and hire a trained professional and investigator, to give me an evaluation of what's going on down in this cave. And as the evaluator came over, they said, oh yeah, like it just seems like they lost track of the vein of gold in these rocks. But if you follow the vein, they were just off track. They just kind of went off the path of the vein. If they would have followed that, they would have continued to, see more. And so he says, okay, great. So you think I should be digging this direction? Well, he goes and he digs and he digs. And guess what? He didn't have to dig far, because 3 feet from where the guy who sold the book, the whole property, 3 feet from where he stopped and sold it out of frustration, he was 3 feet off from his goal the entire time. 3 feet from gold. He was 3 feet from gold, and he was 3 feet from his goal. So it's a beautiful book, and I want to talk about it for a few minutes with you, Willie, because how often do we stop short of the dreams? We get so into starting the new thing or getting in excited about the bells and whistles of the new projects, the new technologies, the new things, the shiny object syndrome, right? But yet we don't have the courage, the tenacity, the perseverance to be able to finish our goals. And I think honestly, that's what people fear most, isn't the actual goal itself or the journey or the hard road it takes to get it. I think they actually have a fear of accomplishing the goal because they don't actually know and see themselves victorious. They don't see themselves winning. They don't know what true victory looks like. And for that, it scares them. And so oftentimes we fall short. But I love this book. It's a great book. It's a branch from the Napoleon Hill Library, and I wanted to talk about it. Have you ever read the book, by the way?
No, honestly, this is the first time I've heard about it.
Yeah, 3 Feet from Gold. It's phenomenal. Sharon Lecter and Greg Reed, great. And they partnered with the Napoleon Hill Foundation to read this. If you go to like naphill.org, you'll see they have a library that of great books, and this one's in the library. And Mark Victor Hansen, by the way, of Chicken Soup for the Soul and many other great books, he wrote the foreword to this. But yeah, it's an interesting. Okay. I was actually in Arizona because that's where Sharon Lecter lives. And in Phoenix area, she's got a lot of book contracts with a lot of stores. And I was literally at a FedEx printing business cards for a conference. And I looked at the shelf, and literally this is the copy I picked up because it was on the shelf. And I was like, Sharon! And I took a photo of it and I was like, look. And I sent her a photo, and she's like, yeah, I'm basically in every store in Arizona. I was like, oh. Anyways, what are your thoughts about falling short from gold?
It's there. It happens. And it's so dumb because we just don't know when it happens. We don't know if we ourselves are 3 feet from gold. We just covered The Alchemist, the book by Paulo Coelho.
Paulo Coelho.
The best announcing name ever. In there, as the King Melchizedek, was talking to the Shepherd Boy before he went out and started going after his own personal legend. He was telling the story of a man who was at a creek and he was trying to find, I believe, geodes and just crystals in the rocks. And he was out there for days, for weeks, for months doing it. And then finally he's just like, I give up. There is nothing out here. Every time I go into a rock, there's just nothing. But if he would just hit one more rock, then he would have gotten it. It's like, how many times have we given up just saying, this isn't for me? And we were 3 feet from gold.
Oh, yeah.
We are just one whack away from getting the crystal, the geodes, the things that we wanted. We don't know. And so that also brings up another point, because in my head, I'm thinking, of course, there's 3 feet from gold, but then there's also, when do we stop? When is that time that we stop? That where it's just like, it is now my time to finish this season in this thing, and now for me to move on. Because we also covered Who Moves My Cheese, where it goes into the depths of needing to change and needing to move. And that sometimes it's the stale, moldy cheese that we're just like, oh, we're comfortable with this and stop going. So I want to hear your thoughts, John. Is there a golden line of just perfect when we should continue because it's 3 feet forward, or when we should change our goal?
Yeah. Oh, I love this question and I love this topic. I'm so glad you brought it up. One, everyone needs to understand, and this is my opinion. So I'm coming out hot with this, but I know that this is an opinion and there's no right way. What is your way, right? So number one is there is no perfect path. And that's what's beautiful about goals is we all have our own unique journeys and none of them are going to be instantaneous. I wish I didn't hear on the news about the people who just struck gold randomly or the overnight successes. Like, I don't want to know about those people because they're so unrelatable. Are they lucky? Oh yeah. Odds are never in their favor, yet it happens. And I'll just throw out the quote, like, you don't make any, what's the Michael Jordan shot? You don't make any of the shots you don't take.
Yeah, you don't make 100% of the shots you don't take.
Exactly. Yeah. So essentially, like, duh, like if you don't show up to the basketball court and throw the ball at the hoop, nothing's going to go in because you aren't making the motion. And so the same goes towards goals. Yes. Are there strategic goals to give up on? Probably. And are there things that you need to pivot? Yes, of course. There are always journeys. I mean, why didn't the investor think of the brilliant idea that the garbage man came up with, which is, I'm going to hire somebody for a second opinion? Like, he was so enraged by his unsuccessful attempts at finding gold. He just thought he would just like bust open a wall and boom, there was gold. But you got to know gold. You can't just come to the West and think, oh yeah, it's just swimming in the rivers. I can just fish it out. Like, it's there. So for me, to answer that question is absolutely, there are strategic times to say, I got to throw in the towel on this. But let me gear it more towards, if you end up throwing in the towel on something that just isn't panning out, then I don't think it is something that has 100% alignment with your overall desire and the end result of your goals. Because if it's something that you continue to do and that it's something that you will do unwaveringly till the end, and you just know, you believe, you follow those 13 steps to quote unquote riches that Napoleon Hill teaches in Think and Grow Rich, then it is truly something that you desire and you'll find it. And if you don't find it, you at least find the results and the answers you were probably not expecting, which were greater than gold. That's my opinion. I think that there are things that you should, stop doing along the path under further investigation and evaluation that don't align with the results. And I think that that's something you have to find out over time and through consistent evaluation and reflection. But I can tell you that if you want it bad enough, if you want it so dearly, it's a true burning desire, you will stop at nothing. It will take you as long as it takes. And sometimes people around you will think you're crazy. They'll say, why? Why do you keep going? What's the point? You got nothing. It's because I'm 3 feet from gold, baby. There's so much I can do. There's so much that will happen when it does come. I mean, I could relate in so many ways, from personal businesses, ideas, things that I've struggled with over the years. And the thing that keeps me coming back are the people that I've surrounded myself with, the relationships I've got, the dream that one day this can be and will be huge or amazing, or will serve one person. And that's what keeps me going. And that's why we continue. But yeah, that's my answer to the question. I hope I didn't alter your answer, but what are your thoughts on your own question?
You altered it all the way. There's no way I'm sharing my original thoughts now. Asking that question of like, when is that golden line? When is that perfect mark of when? And you're right, there's no perfect time, but I think there are indications of where do I need to keep pushing on, or is it time for me to move to the next thing?
Right.
And I think that if it's time to move to the next thing, you've stopped loving what you're going after. I'm not necessarily talking about the journey, not talking about the hard work that you put in, because it is going to be hard.
Right.
But if you stop loving the goal because you're just like, man, this isn't what I thought it was, and the path that goes down this isn't actually something that aligns with what I want for myself, then it's like, that was a stepping stone, and now let's move to the next one.
Yeah.
However, where I think a lot more people are in is the side of, you need to keep pushing forward. Is that it's hard and you want to give up, you want to quit, but you're 3 feet from gold. And that's not literal 3 feet. It's not literal 3 hours or 3 tasks from your to-do list or 3 people you're connecting with. Sometimes it is. But it's really, when it comes down to it, is, are you giving up because it's not what you expected and it's hard? And if those two are the only reasons why, then you should keep pushing on.
Yeah.
I think the other thing is, you can still do and still work towards the 3 feet and do something else. There are a lot of entrepreneurs out there who started businesses, but realized that as they did it, that the business wasn't bringing the money in and had to go get a part-time or full-time other job. Does that mean that they gave up and that they stopped going to 3 feet? No. It's just that they go to work for the 9 to 5, and then both of the 5 to 9 hours are spent on their business.
Yeah.
So it's just like, there's a lot that goes into it. John, before we jump over to my book, your final thoughts with your book and stuff we talked about.
Absolutely. Just keep digging. And you brought something up that I want to write a book about, and maybe you and I will co-author this book. But you said the golden line. Oh man. Oh, that's an expansion. That's like taking golden the microscope to the story of 3 feet from gold and going all in. And I love that. And I'm in such an Olympic spirit right now. Gold is all I can think about. I even got my golden microphone out just to display. But final thoughts. This topic I'm so passionate about because, I mean, you brought it up, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. He finishes the journey against all odds, right? He went through a lot. He experienced a lot. He had this drive to finish his journey. And what did he figure out? That the answer was at the beginning. That he had to just go back to the shepherd's flocks, and that he had experienced so much along the way. Now, I'm not saying your answer is already like you have you have it right there in your hands and that you've made the results. You have to keep digging. You got to keep going. The best shooters in basketball are the ones who keep taking the shots, right? And you know how many shots they miss? Well, so many. And you don't see those because you watch the television and they've practiced for this. So don't let sports fool you. They're great. They're great performers. But I want you to all just understand one simple thing, that if you truly want it, never stop seeking it. That's what makes you different. That's what makes you unique. And yes, you can have multiple things. And yes, you can accomplish great things. And you can multitask, and you can also pivot. But just know that most of the time, I'm going to go on a whim here and say the majority of your goals, you stopped 3 feet from gold. And don't do that to yourselves, to your dreams, to your life, to your future, to your legacy. You're so close. Just keep going. Boom, baby.
Boom. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Every time you're just like, just keep digging. In my head, it's just like, Dory, just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. All right. Nemo's awesome, by the way.
All right. My anticipation is so high. What's your book?
My book that I chose is one that is not like the others. It's one that is not like any self-help book you read before, because this book specifically in its first pages say, do not read this from front to back, but instead go to what is going to impact you the most. Go to what you need to hear. My book by wonderful Evan Carmichael is The Top 10 Rules for Success. Now, this was a book I picked up back in, I believe, 2018, 2019. And what it does is Evan piles together 40 different successful entrepreneurs, business owners, gurus, influencers. And this was back in the day. I think it was back in that time, 2018, 2020. So people from back there. And the cool thing is that each of the 40 people have their own 10 rules for success. So literally you can open it to a page and they got their own little fun little picture of themselves. This one is Maya Angelou. No, Maya. I know.
Maya Angelou.
Thank you. See, that's why John's here. He helps me with my dyslexia all the time. And literally each page has 1 or 2 rules with it.
Cool.
So, John, we're going to play a game. You ready?
Ready.
Okay. So I want you to give me a number.
Ooh.
Between 1 and 40.
22.
22. Man, you're
easy. That's my lucky number.
That's 20, 22. Okay. We are going to, funny enough, Joe Rogan. Now.
Really?
Yeah, Joe Rogan. Now, give me a number between 1 and 10.
7.
7. Okay, so Joe Rogan's rule of number 7, which is right here, by the way, have discipline.
Oh, wow.
Which, funny enough, it goes with your book that you just said. Let me read his rule. So rule 7, have discipline. The one thing that discipline definitely helps you with is getting things done. And when you get things done, when you actually do things, you have more success. A big part of success is not just being lazy and just doing it. 90% of it is just showing up. Get there. Start working. You're not going to feel perfect every day. If I only worked out when I felt good, I'd be fat, because there's a lot of language in here, so I'm abbreviating it because we're a kids channel. No, we're not, but I'm just abbreviating it. I'd be fat because there's a lot of days that I don't want to do it. Through discipline, I get things done. I'm the most lazy, disciplined person I know because I don't want to do it, but I do it, but I always do. So that's just one of the, I guess, 400, because 40 times 10 is 400. Of the 400 rules of success in here. And I love it because literally you can go to just one of your favorite people. There's Tony Robbins, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Robert Kiyosaki, Les Brown, Gary Vaynerchuk, Will Smith, Mark Zuckerberg, Joe Rogan, Michelle Obama, Bob Proctor, like Denzel Washington. There are so many people that we know who have done these things. And Evan has compiled from different videos, different speeches that they've said into like what are the 10 most common things that they talk about and put them in this book. So, top 10 rules of success. John, just what's your initial thoughts with all of it?
Well, I've got lots, but I'll sum it up with this. When I first met you, we had a lot of conversations about some of these people. And one of the things is you had a unique opportunity and a really cool story about getting to connect with Evan Carmichael. And, I've never met the guy. I think I've read one of his books, and also like I was so excited for you in this moment because I know what it was like to have that mentor figure early on that just graced your life with inspiration to that degree that really hit you in the way that you felt seen, you felt understood, and you also knew like what I'm doing is the right thing is as early as on the journey as you are. And boom, I mean, move forward 7, 8 years. Holy cow, Willie, I don't even recognize you. You're not the kid I met at that Starbucks so many years ago. You are so much cooler. Not to say that he was cool, not cool back then, but you're incredible. And I can just like, I love knowing that the Evan Carmichael influence struck gold with you. There it is again. And it really just like helped in so many ways, but it also didn't do anything for you, but leads you to be more, there we go, disciplined, and to be more focused and to work on stuff that is truly your passion. And I'm so excited and proud of you. But I give gratitude to Evan Carmichael and the book and the principles, and what a brilliant idea to take, lessons and topics from some of the greats and to compile them in a place where we can gain inspiration. I take a lot of note on that. Brendan Burchard is one of my favorites, and he wrote a book that you can carry anywhere with you. It's a little hardback book called the Motivation Manifesto. And the Motivation Manifesto is so cool because every page has its own, lesson and its own like, hey, get off your butt and go do it because this is what you need to do. And it's powerful stuff. And I love that stuff. Like I have a little pocket-sized The Four Agreements book, and I carry it everywhere with me. It goes with me on all my trips. It's in my, because if I need like a tiny little pocket of inspiration, I just boom, go there, flip open to a page, got it. And that's like, boom, that's all I needed. And I'm good to go. So yeah, my thoughts on this are just, one, I'm proud of you. 2, I can see the change. 3, you're absolutely right. Like finding inspiration is sometimes anything and everything you need because it's hard out there. I mean, there should be a warning sign and a label that says, before you head down this road, just know the consequences of being an entrepreneur are, and then it's a long list as long as the scrolls of ancient times. But but we don't know that. We see the end result and we're like incentivized by its glory that we head down that path. And I'm grateful to have watched you, to be your friend, and to have seen you grow in this space because it is lonely at the top, as they say, but I'm grateful it is because it truly weeds out the people I could care less to spend more time with. And it puts me at the level of spending time with people who truly matter. And I'm going to say that's the Evan Carmichael effect that it's had on you. So those are my thoughts.
The Evan Carmichael effect. Boom. Dude, I appreciate your kind words. I do. And you're the exact same way. Man, the John from back then to the one today, so much focus and discipline, so many results that you've gotten. The way you carry yourself, the confidence, the courage surpasses that of John of old. Did that John of old have confidence? Of course. But through experience, it has become experienced confidence. The knowledge has become the wisdom. I just love this book. It's just so good, and it just reminds me. I wanna read some of these again. It feels like it's been a little bit since I've read through this, but wrapping this episode up, and as we're talking about these two books, I want to share one of my favorites, and I don't know what it's going to say, but it's from Evan Carmichael, and I know that he is into his one word why is believe. And so I want to share his excerpt if I can find the homie. And boom, right there. There is a rule. This rule is so it's rule 10, hashtags believe. This rule is my personal favorite. Hashtag believe is my one word. And it's true that whether you believe you can or you can't do something, you're right. There are so many talented, amazing, creative people out there who have passion, commitment, and genius inside of them. They don't just believe that they can make their dreams happen. Ooh, I read that wrong. They just don't believe that they can make their dreams happen, so they don't. Meanwhile, others with less talent rise to the top because they believed that they could. We've all had moments of boldness, and I encourage you to think about what triggered that boldness. Maybe you were watching a video. Maybe you were reading a book. Maybe you were meditating. It doesn't matter what it is that triggered your bold self-confidence. Just figure out what it is, and then start your day with it every day. Instead of randomly having it happen to you, plan for it consistently. If you start your day with courageous self-belief every day for the next year, you will not recognize the business and the life that you will create for yourself 1 year from today. So get building and start believing. Freaking love that guy. Love those words. Yeah, mic drop, boom, all the way with Evan. And really figure out what triggers your boldness. As I was talking to one of the clients I work with, we were talking about what is it that makes us have that confidence and courage. And I related it to do something you love and do it first thing in the morning, because it really jump starts the rest of your day. Just like when people have a cup of coffee right in the morning, it wakes them right up, gives them what they need to then carry throughout the day. Find what that is for you. It could be painting, drawing, it could be music, it can be books, meditation, whatever it is. Find something for 5 minutes that you can do that jump starts your day. Because man, if you start your day every day jump started, just like when you got that cup of coffee in the morning, man, you're awake and you're ready to go. So start each day that way. John, what's your final thoughts?
Music to my ears.
So good.
It's so good. So good. And I love motivation and inspiration. At one point I called myself an inspirational speaker because I thought that was more important than motivation. What I should really call myself is a disciplined speaker. Because really what it comes down to is teaching the principles that help most people grow. I just love this work, and I think I'm fulfilled by it because in some small way, I care about people and I care about them succeeding. And I know that you do too. And we all deserve to live a life regretless, less of shame and more of fullness. And, just being in someone's corner to guide them through that path is one of the most rewarding experiences one can have in life. And I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for books. So never stop reading, never stop writing, never stop sharing, and never stop contributing and helping others. That's my final thought.
Well said. And with that, wraps up this episode of Champion Reads. If you found inspiration in it, subscribe to the podcast. You can find us on your favorite podcasting platform. As well, go to our website, mychampionscircle.com, where you'll find the links to our podcast, links to our socials, and everything else going in the Champion universe. Until next time, continue to be the champion in your life. Continue just to be the best version of yourself. And always remember that food is what gets to a man's heart. But if you're wanting results, it comes from books. We'll see you on the next episode of Champion Reads.